Welcome back, book talk enthusiasts, to another exciting episode of Dragons and Spaceships, where we shine a spotlight on all the sci-fi and fantasy books that are taking the platform by a storm. I'm your host, Brandy, and today we are stepping into a library unlike anything you've ever imagined. We are talking about Mark Lawrence's The Book That Wouldn't Burn, the first book in his epic library trilogy. We'll chat about what makes this book so unforgettable, and I'll even drop a tiny spoiler-free teaser for what to expect in the sequel. So let's get started. But before we dive into this book, as always, let's take a look at the Realm and Galactic rankings of trending books this week. Hey, fantasy lovers, this week's trending book is The Fury of the Gods by John Gwynne, the epic finale to his Norse-inspired Bloodsworn saga. Released in October 2024, this book has everyone talking, and for good reason. The story takes us back to a chaotic land on the brink of war, where warriors face their greatest challenges yet, slaying a dragon. So if you're a fan of Gwynne's work or just love gritty, action-packed fantasy, this one's a must-read. Okay, back to The Book That Wouldn't Burn. Imagine this, a library that's not just a building, but a living, breathing entity. A library that spans dimensions, holding every book ever written or ever thought about. That's where Mark Lawrence takes us in The Book That Wouldn't Burn. It's a love letter to stories, knowledge, and the infinite possibilities contained in the written world. The story follows two protagonists. First, there's Lavera Paige, a scrappy, determined girl from the dust, a desolate and dangerous region constantly under attack by terrifying saber creatures. Lavera's life changes when she's brought to the library, a place she could only dream of, filled with wonders and dangers of its own. And then there's Venturi, a boy who has spent his entire life within the library, isolated with four others and haunted by its secrets. These two characters, seemingly worlds apart, are on a collision course that will unravel truths about the library, their past, and the world beyond. What makes The Book That Wouldn't Burn so incredible is the sheer imagination. Lawrence doesn't just give us a story, he gives us a universe. The library is as much of a character as Lavera and Ivar, with its labyrinth halls, sentient books, and deep mysteries, and oh, the books. Imagine walking through a place where knowledge is alive, where stories have weight and consequence. It's the ultimate dream for any book lover, or maybe a nightmare, depending on how you feel about books that bite back. But don't be fooled. This isn't just a book about books. It's a story about resilience, discovery, and human connection. Lavera is one of those characters you can't help but root for. She's brave, she's curious, and determined to make her mark even in a place as overwhelming as this library. Ivar, on the other hand, is a bit of a mystery. His life in the library has shaped him in ways he doesn't fully understand, and watching his journey unfold is one of the book's many joys. Now, I promised you a sneak peek into the sequel, The Book That Broke the World, so here's a little taste. While I won't spoil anything major, I can tell you, Lavera and Ivar's paths take them far beyond the library's walls. Lavera faces an even greater challenge as she's drawn into a shadowy dimension and must reclaim something precious she's lost. Meanwhile, Ivar's is thrust into a world he's never known, pursued by an unrelenting enemy. Their stories are about to get even more intense with higher stakes and even deeper mysteries. And yes, the library's secrets are far from fully revealed. So if you're a fan of intricate worlds, complex characters, and stories that make you think, The Book That Wouldn't Burn is a must-read. And if you're anything like me, you'll finish it immediately and start counting down the days until you can dive into The Book That Broke the World. So grab a copy, get comfy, and prepare to lose yourself in one of the most imaginative fantasies out there. Well, that's all I have for you on this book today, but don't leave yet though. First, we have The Dragon's Roar. In today's Dragon's Roar, we are diving into the latest drama or news in the book industry. Holly Renee has just released the audiobook for Hunter Heir, the second installment of her Veiled Kingdom series. And as an audiobook lover, I am very excited to get to hear this one. It's already getting great reviews, and you can go find it wherever you get your audiobooks. Next, we have The Sorcerer's Scrolls, where we look at some forthcoming fables and quests you can embark on soon. This week, we are going to talk about The Floating World by Axie O. This book will be coming out April 29th, 2025. And oh boy, does it look very exciting. It says Final Fantasy meets Shadow and Bone in this romantic fantasy reimagining the Korean legend of celestial maidens. If any of that sounds exciting to you, don't forget to check out The Floating World by Axie O, coming April 29th, 2025. Well, that's it for today's episodes of Dragons and Spaceship. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the realms and the spaceships. And thank you for joining me on this deep dive into Mark Lawrence's The Book That Wouldn't Burn. If you've read the book, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And don't forget to find us on social media for more quick and engaging book reviews and recommendations. Until next time, happy reading, stay curious, keep exploring the fantastical and the futuristic, and may your TBR pile never stop growing.